Okay, this is going to hopefully be a tutorial on how to play Funny Puppy by Anne Crosby Godet from the Level 3 Royal Conservatory of Music repertoire album. So first off, a couple things to note with this song. The left hand, if you notice, has a ton of triads in it. And what's important with these triads is to make sure that they're done softly. We don't want a song where all we hear is... That gets old pretty quick, so we want to make sure that the left hand is played light and short and detached, because you have all staccatos in the left hand except for those 4 bars right in the middle of the song. So you also have to notice in the second bar you have an accent in the right hand, so we want to make sure that accent really sings out. And if you notice in measure 16, the same thing happens again, so you're staying on alert for those accents. So let's start this. If you're going to pay attention to the fact that my left hand is softer than my right hand, I'm going to play it slower than the actual speed so that eventually, if you want, you can play along with me. So we're going to count ourselves in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So let's pause there for a moment. That bar we just came through at measure 4, if you notice it goes into 7, 8 times. So that means you've got 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1. And then you go back to your regular 4/4. How that works is the 8th note still equals the same amount of time. So you're coming off of the 3 and 4 and 1, 2. And you go right back to the same tempo, the same speed with the 8th notes. So now we come to measure 6. If you notice in the upper staff, it goes into the bass clef. So now your right hand is no longer playing in treble clef, it's playing in the bass clef. You also notice it says right hand over. So your right hand is going to cross over top of your left hand, and it's going to play in the lower region here of the piano. So it's going to be... And then another accent. Again, your right hand returns, it goes back into treble clef, but now you add your pedal. So make sure when you pedal, your pedal is going to go down on the first note, and every time you see one of those little things sticking up, a little part of a triangle sticking up, that means you're going to clear your pedal. So as soon as you play that new note, that's when your foot goes up and down and lifts. So it's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and there's a fermato we're going to hold, and then everything is going to lift. Your pedal, your hands, all of it will lift. So now before we go on, I want to play that without the pedal so that you can hear how smooth it needs to be from our hands. So our fingers have to do the job of the legato sound. It's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Do you hear how smooth my hands are playing? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So the pedal isn't doing the work of keeping it smooth. The fingers are doing the work of the smoothness. The pedal is just adding this nice warm effect to it to give it a little bit more resonance, but it's not doing the work of keeping it smooth. Your fingers still need to be responsible for that. So let's come through that section again and then go into the reprise of the puppy that's jumping and playing all around. So from the legato section at measure 11. 1, slowing down. And 3 and 4. Now we're going to take a physical breath. 1 and 2 and 3 and one little note about measure 19. The counting there looks to be, when you look at it, it can look kind of daunting, but it's actually pretty simple. It's in 4/4 time. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's just straight eighth notes through the whole thing, and you're using only the top 5 black keys. So your left hand is playing the 2 black keys, the group of 2, and your right hand is playing the group of 3 black keys. So as tricky as it looks, it's actually not as hard as what it seems. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can actually have some fun doing that. So let me play the whole thing through. Pardon if I have a mistake, I will try not to. But listen for the balance of the hands, so the right hand being louder than the left hand, the legato section in the middle where the puppies are getting sleepy and they want to go to sleep, and then the break when they hear something crash or they hear a ball bounce or they hear the bag of kibble get open. They awake and then they're back at it, and the energy comes back into the song again at the odd tempo and straight through to the end where they skid to a stop because they've gotten their treats or they've gotten what they were hoping for. So here we go. 1 and 2 and I'm still going slower just so you can play along with me as you're learning it. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Enjoy learning this one. I hope it goes well for you.